of the summer.
Yeah, what was your favorite thing we built?
Memories. Oh, come on.
Corny.
No, I'm serious. We've done a lot of great stuff. How can I choose?
Yeah, remember the time we went into space? Which time? The time we made the ice cream. Duh. And remember the roller coaster?
Summer is done, and we've had our fun, but this isn't the end of our story.
Well, the song is not wrong, because apparently it's not the end of the story. We only find this out like 8 years later. Hey guys, it's Crew Zero here, and I'm here again with another video on cartoons. And the cartoon I will be talking about is Phineas and Ferb. Now, Phineas and Ferb, I know this is a cartoon that is very special to a lot of people, and I mean a lot. And I mean, it is very special to me as a kid, but it's not as special or enjoyable as much to me now as an adult than it was before. But that doesn't mean I don't like the show anymore. I still think it's really good and enjoyable. It's just that later seasons have lower quality. Also, there are also some better cartoons out there. Anyways, Phineas and Ferb is said to be like one of the most special and like remarkable cartoons on the Disney Channel for being one of the most viewed, critically acclaimed, long-running, and money-making original cartoon from Disney. And from these facts alone, it's basically how Phineas and Ferb like became a lot of people's favorite cartoon that they grew up with on the channel. And it kind of was like my favorite cartoon at one point when I was like 6 or 8, I don't remember. But as I got older and seen the formula of how an episode of Phineas and Ferb is written, I kind of had less respect for the show, just how every episode is almost the same. It's kind of like how I feel with the regular show a bit. To the point that it gets kind of tired and repetitive. But my opinions on the show overall isn't what I'm talking about in this video. What I want to talk about in this video is the news that has been going around over the internet the past few days. Well, technically 2 years, but you know, the past 3 days. Is that Phineas and Ferb is returning for a 5th and 6th season after its 10-year ending hiatus. And I have plenty of complaints and like things to say about this. Now, before I go over those complaints, I have a discretion. Any big Phineas and Ferb fans, please don't take my opinions way too seriously. Just remember that these are my opinions, that I'm just expressing my thoughts on, you know, the news that has been going around. It doesn't mean that I'm 100% against it, but I just want to point some things out that just really bugs me, you know. Also, please subscribe and watch the video all the way through, please. And with that said, let's go over my first complaint on what I think about the revival. Okay, so my first complaint on what I have with the revival of Phineas and Ferb is like, what is the main reason of it coming back? Because this show has been not on air for like almost 10 years. The show had a series finale, and in the series finale, it has some big changes to the characters and plot, you know, that kind of like matter into the new seasons. Plus, why is it making it sound like this show is like coming back when it technically never did? Okay, one thing I want to mention is that I know a lot of y'all Phineas and Ferb fans think that the finale was them as teenagers, and it is not the finale, man. The actual series finale was the episode The Last Day of Summer, which is basically Phineas and Ferb and everyone trying to have the best day and then have the best fun on their last day of summer before school starts tomorrow. And as well, it also focuses on Candace trying to finally bust them before the school year starts. And the episode also focuses on Doofenshmirtz as well, trying to take over the tri-state area before Pear the Platypus, you know, saves the day and ruins his plans. Then later on, Candace heads over to Vanessa, who's at Doofenshmirtz's lair, and then like Candace and Doofenshmirtz like, you know, clash into each other. And Candace accidentally presses one of his machines, the do-over machine, which is like a time machine, restarting the last day of summer over and over throughout the entire episode till it leads to conflicts like, you know, time ripping apart and making objects as well as people disappear as if they never existed, including Phineas and Ferb. And after that, you know, Phineas, Ferb, Candace, everyone else like, you know, trying their best to like to make time go back to normal and stop the day from starting over before the universe explodes. And after they do save the day, Doofenshmirtz decides to finally become a good guy and stop doing evil. And that's basically all the important that has happened in the series finale of Phineas and Ferb. I know a lot of people really love the series finale of Phineas and Ferb and says it's like one of the best of like any cartoons out there. And I don't think so, but I mean, I do think it's a really good episode because I do remember watching it back then and thought it was like good. But over time, like my perspective and like opinions of that series finale has changed drastically. Even more so after the news that the original show is coming back after 10 years. Like, me personally, I feel like the new seasons of Phineas and Ferb are like ruining the ending of The Last Day of Summer. Like, finding out that that is not actually the last day of summer of us seeing Phineas and Ferb, like, it makes the original ending like seem pointless. Like, it didn't matter in the first place. Like, wasn't the show meant to take place in just one summer? I mean, it would make sense if, like, you know, most of the episodes from the original series, you know, take place in like different summers. I mean, that's what I thought. And if that were true, then that probably would make the series finale even more pointless and kind of flawed. Okay, another complaint that I have with the show returning is that even though the series has ended since 2015, it never technically ended in the first place. If you were someone who grew up with Disney Channel or Disney XD like throughout the mid 2010s like I did. Because just like I said with, you know, the show having a 5th and 6th season, making the Last Day of Summer finale not the finale, there are actually special episodes that I'm surprised not many fans know that came out like after the finale aired. Those are being The Alka Files and Doof 101. And those two specials are like focused on Doofenshmirtz because he's kind of like the main character in those. Let's start off with Doof 101 because that one's technically supposed to have happened first. The special is basically Doofenshmirtz becoming a high school teacher for Vanessa's class. And well, that's really it though. I mean, it's an alright episode, but like, what I remember seeing this and thinking to myself, this show had a finale. Why the fuck am I seeing new Phineas and Ferb? And the same shit happened again when I saw the Alka Files. And what happened in that special is Doofenshmirtz joins Alka, which is literally like the agency that Perry the Platypus works for. And well, that one, I think that one was pretty good from what I remember. But again, I have not seen that in years. But also, in the back of my head, it's like, why is there more Phineas and Ferb? I mean, I do like this special, but why is there more? Like, bro, I was like almost 13 like when this was happening. Like, I literally had like questions like what the hell Disney was like doing right here. Because part of me felt like the creators of the show, like, even though like their show ended, like somehow they did not want it to end and wanted to make more of it in some way. But you know, that did change when a certain cartoon came out in late 2016, which is Milo Murphy's Law. A show about a kid who has Murphy's Law, basically bad luck like everywhere he goes. And this show was created by the same people behind Phineas and Ferb. And I think it has a good premise, but like, you know, the more I watched it, I then realized that it's basically the same thing that I have problems with like later seasons of Phineas and Ferb. Well, maybe though. I don't know. It's been years since I've seen Miles Murphy's Law, but I did get annoyed that like they also added songs to this show as well. Like, I thought it was just a Phineas and Ferb thing though. You did not need songs here. But as time went on, like from the show airing, there has been like plenty of like Easter eggs and references to Phineas and Ferb to the point it got annoying. Because like I thought like this would be like breath of fresh air, just like, you know, something new from the guys who like made the show. And show just slowly turned into Phineas and Ferb the sequel. Because Milo Murphy's Law had a crossover with Phineas and Ferb. Apparently, I mean, I heard about it, but like I never watched it though, because I think I didn't have cable anymore at the time, or was probably watching Cartoon Network. But also, a thing that I didn't know is that Doofenshmirtz, like, you know, gets introduced into the later in the series and becomes a main character, meaning this is just Phineas and Ferb again. Like, hearing this, even though I haven't fully seen the show, like it kind of pisses me off. Like, the creators like of these show like tried to do something new, yet they didn't. They just brought back their old work that made them more money. Because I felt like them introducing Doofenshmirtz in like the Phineas and Ferb cast, or just any references to the show in general, they thought that they would really help like boost the ratings and like recognition for Milo Murphy, like, cause nobody was watching that shit. No offense to the Milo Murphy's Law fans, but like, your show kind of was not that special, especially how it ended up in this situation. And this wasn't the last of it. Cause in 2020, a year after I believe Milo Murphy's Law got cancelled, a movie comes out of nowhere during the COVID pandemic, and that movie is called Phineas and Ferb, Candace Against the Universe, which is the second original movie from the Phineas and Ferb franchise. You know, when this movie was announced, this is the point I realized Phineas and Ferb never ended. It never did in the first place. That never was the last day of summer we got to see them, because apparently there was more of it. I mean, I never got to see the movie because I don't have Disney Plus, but I did not have interest in watching it. I mean, that might be because, like, you know, I had less interest in watching cartoons. You know, I moved on to anime, but also because, like, I didn't understand what was the appeal and, like, point of this movie. Like, there was no reason for it to be made, because it felt like a cash grab. Because, like, why would Disney, like, randomly decide to, like, greenlit a movie on, like, one of their, like, shows that has ended, like almost half a decade at the time, especially when that series had a concluding ending. I'm generally surprised that the movie did very well in, like, Rotten Tomatoes. Man, people just watch anything. And I can prove my point since, like, just 2 years ago, Disney decided to just randomly bring back Phineas and Ferb for 2 seasons. And what's fucking weird is that I remember even being in the Discord chat, like, discussing about, like, Phineas and Ferb and sharing my problems with, like, how the show has been treated for, like, the past decade after its finale, which is what I'm doing right now. And all of a sudden, someone sends a link from Twitter that Phineas and Ferb is returning. Like, at that moment, I thought Disney was, like, spying on my ass or something. Like, it felt like they just brought back the show just in spite of me. Okay, my next complaint that I have with the Phineas and Ferb revival is the quality of the new seasons gonna be as good as the original series? See, like, whenever a show that has got canceled or ended, like, a long time ago, most of the time the studio or company that owns that show decides to bring it back for, like, the older audience to come back and watch, as well as introduce, like, the original show to, like, newer audience. But majority of the time it fails because it's basically the same thing, or just the quality of the show has fallen off. And part of me feels like the same thing could happen to Phineas and Ferb. Well, I don't know, because, like, Phineas and Ferb is a slice of life show. You know, Phineas and Ferb, like, every day they're just, like, building an invention. Then Candace tries to bust her brothers, and then Doofenshmirtz try to take over Tri-State area. Perry comes in, destroys his lab. Then the mom comes back home, invention disappears, and, you know, and that's an end of the episode. Like, it's so obvious, like, what we know is gonna happen. And I mean, like, it's fine, because that is basically what makes Phineas and Ferb, like, its own show. But, like, some of y'all probably do not remember that, like, there was just some, like, low quality, running out of ideas, like, in, like, the normal episodes. Besides, like, the specials, which probably, like, the episodes that outshined the most in that season, the regular episodes were basically kind of nothing. It's, like, to the point that, like, the writers, like, they kind of just, like, ran out of ideas, like, what else can we put for this season? And maybe I'm kind of worried a bit too much, because, like, it has been 10 years, so, like, I feel like there should be, like, some really good ideas, so hopefully there'll be some good episodes. But that may not happen entirely, since just last week, by the time I'm recording this, the Phineas and Ferb revival trailer has come out, and everything that I said in the video is just kind of like what I expected. I mean, it's definitely kind of a remarkable trailer, though, not gonna lie. But, like, I am not that interested in this. Like, I have problems with this trailer. First off, I want to go over that I don't think many people have went over, is the animation. Now, majority of the trailer, like, it does look like the original, like, you know, series with the animation and style. Like, there's some scenes that looks kind of bad. Like, the way the characters are moving, it looked like Flash animation. Make me think that the show has had some budget cuts. Another thing that I have wrong with this trailer is the continuity. Like, I mentioned in the beginning of the video that Doofenshmirtz is now a good guy. Yeah, all that is irrelevant now. And Doofenshmirtz decides to just randomly go back to being evil. And he has Instagram. Oh, fuck. I think another thing I just remembered that I didn't like is that the show is now going to take place in modern times, and it's going to reference a lot of modern pop culture references. I swear to freaking God, there better not be an episode where Doofenshmirtz learns how to do TikTok dances. Plus, is there like a reason why they're going back to their original roots? I mean, people are making theories on YouTube, like wondering why Doofenshmirtz is going back to evil. I mean, it probably could just due to, you know, him being stupid. Or, I don't know, it's like an addiction he has now. You know, him being good, but like he can't get used to that lifestyle, so like he gotta do some little evil things to cope or something. I mean, I guess Phineas Ferb is a slice of life cartoon, and you know, slice of life cartoons don't have lore or a continuing story. But like, I feel like Phineas Ferb at least should. I mean, it takes place all in one summer, and this revival literally takes place the summer after the original series. Plus, slice of life shows in general have some canonic moments that do like play through to the end of the story. One more thing I have with the trailer is that, yet again, I feel like not interested in like what's gonna happen. Like the inventions that I see, like they're not that interested in my opinion. Like a fucking submarine? Are you serious? Haven't you guys already been to the ocean like multiple times? Actually, I will say one thing, that there are scenes of them at school, and I actually would like to see that. You know, I want to know what their school life is like. You know, but maybe I'm complaining a little too much on this, because it does make it noticeable that there will be like some news changes to the show, but we don't know what that is though. All we know is that each episode is going to use the same ass formula like the original series has. Like, why hype this all up when it's going to be the same thing? And my last and final complaint that I have with the show returning is that, is the show returning after 10 years technically like necessary for all of us? Cause like, I feel like for the past like few years, there has been so many revivals or reboots or continuations of like shows or movies that had ended like years ago, and majority of them fail or just feel unnecessary and legit nobody watches them. Like, do many of y'all know that Johnny Test ended like a decade ago, yet it returned several years later and became a Netflix original? I mean, did anyone really ask for it? Well, probably someone has though. And I could say the same thing with the Phineas Ferb, because like apparently everyone is fine with it. Why are y'all fine with this? It's basically a cash grab. It's basically the same thing. You guys are just consumers. Like legitimately, I hear like many people complain about all those Disney live action remakes, then like a reboot or like remake of like their old cartoons comes out and everyone's like yippee yippee yippee. Like, I don't get it. Y'all really should not be like this hype for like new Phineas and Ferb when like there has been like several over like the past decade. Also, the show had a series finale. There's no necessity in making more of it. Like, what is wrong with y'all? I genuinely don't know. Like, how the fuck do you not admit that your show ended like almost a decade ago and now only finding out that the show's returning? It just feels like the problems that like are going with like Adventure Time or regular show. Mostly Adventure Time. Like, that show ended in 2018 with a proper series finale, yet decide to make like 4 specials and a spin-off. No, 2 spin-offs! And the newer spin-off is literally a pre-K cartoon. And even a movie might happen. Yet the fanbase of Adventure Time like legit don't give a fuck. Like, your show ended, move on! I am getting tired of seeing so many people, so many videos of people being happy about Phineas and Ferb returning. Somehow like Phyllis is like against it, and this is probably like the first video of his that I feel fully agree with him all the way through. I mean, the reason that people only want to watch more Phineas and Ferb is the music and Doofenshmirtz. That's it. But like, you could have just, if you wanted more Phineas and Ferb, you could have just watched Milo Murphy's Law or Hamster and Gretel. Okay, never mind. That show is bad. I hate that show. Plus, even though a lot of people are excited for Phineas and Ferb's return, like majority of them aren't gonna watch it though. They're probably gonna forget that the show is already out. Or if they do watch it, they'll probably only like watch like the first 2 episodes and then forget about it. Like, the revival of Phineas and Ferb, to me, is unnecessary. It did not really need to return for us. And that's something that I don't think many people have realized. But even though I am so against this, you know, I still have some hope that maybe it will be enjoyable, but it won't be anything like special, okay? I might like the episodes, but it doesn't really change anything. And that's pretty much all the complaints I can think of.
Yeah, that's it.
Anyways, that's everything I have to say in this video. Even though I'm not a big Phineas and Ferb fan like a lot of people are, you know, I still think the show was really good for its prime. And I mean, I feel like I could maybe enjoy the new seasons if they try something new. or if I'm in a good mood. And I hope everyone who is a big fan of Phineas Ferb is watching this. Hope that you agree with my opinions and don't see any harm in them. Sorry if I insulted your show, insulted your hopes, but there are just some things I just had to say to let y'all hear. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, as well as comment down below your opinions on Phineas and Ferb returning, as well as share this video with your friends. Also subscribe and click the bell when I make more videos. Oh, and also watch my previous videos as well to support me. Those are bangers. I know you'll enjoy them. And that's everything I gotta say here.